What's up, guys? Kyle Marlett here from Vanishing Ink Magic. I'm here with my friend Aaron Fisher. Aaron, thank you so much for taking time out to chat with me, man.
Hey Kyle, how you been, man?
I'm really, really good. I appreciate you chatting with me. I want to talk about the fest, Magi Fest, because you're coming to Magi Fest, right? And yeah.
Absolutely, and it's been a few years since I've had a chance to go, and it's like literally one of the best times in Magic.
Good. It's been a long time. It's a really great convention, and we're really excited for having you because I know you're doing a talk. Can you kind of tell us what that's about? Because you've done a lot recently, and we would love to hear about it.
I guess it was over 5 years ago now, probably longer than that. I started working with students online, one-on-one, and then we started doing group lessons, and I really had a chance to start discovering and sort of piecing together the detective story over the last 20 years prior to that of how we become magicians. I mean, you get a chance to really meet with people every week, every 2 weeks, and really sort of go through what we might call a curriculum, and you start to discover how your teachers taught you. I was really fortunate. I got to learn magic and hang out with some of the greatest magic mentors, the greatest magicians that were alive at the time I got interested in magic. And you start to really piece together what worked so much about the old system that we came up with, the sort of apprenticeship system that was prevalent for the last century. And then you start to also discover what aspects of it might have been even stronger if there was some kind of formalized process, So instead of saying to a person, learn this move, and if you don't learn it this way, well, then you can't be a magician. Good luck. Instead of that, you actually find that you can build really easily through things that build the core skills that make up any one of these moves or tricks that are multi-phase routines that we get all excited about doing, and then we find a little bit of frustration when it goes from buying those things to starting to perform those things, to starting to get great reactions with those things. You find out a lot of stuff ends up on the shelf, a lot of books end up read about, dreamed about, never performed, and you end up with a lot of frustration. And so what's been so exciting about all of these lessons over all of these years now is patterns have emerged and tactics have emerged and real strategies have emerged that are getting people in our modern universe, where we don't see as many magicians live. Of course, our magic, our friends, our Magi Fest crew is filled with people who've been in magic longer than I have. So it's really a great chance to sort of match the old with the new. But what we've discovered is a lot of really specific tactics that people are using now to get stuff up, to get it out on its feet and start the growing process fast and really make progress, because that's what it's all about. And I think that's what everyone wants. So that's what I'm going to be sharing in our talks and events at Magi Fest. I'm really excited about it.
Well, let me this is kind of a question that relates to that. So you've had a lot of students, and I want to know, as Aaron Fisher, what have you learned from teaching all these students? Because there's that old saying, what is it, the master has become the student or whatever. So you learn from your students probably just as much as they learn from you
on a daily basis. Like today I had in a series of lessons I'm doing with a particular student on the bottom palm, I am discovering things about the bottom palm that I didn't know that make it a lot easier to learn. So this is a move, and I hate to make it about technique at this moment, because really ultimately that's just a little piece of what we're doing, and it ends up being a big stumbling block, right? Because it's the first little thing you have to get down, or else you get busted. You can't even do a trick if you don't even get that little move right. And so just today I was learning 3 things that can make a person able to do that move, which is such an empowering move, right? If you can do a bottom palm, all of a sudden you don't have to do a card to wallet where the wallet's on the deck, and you don't have to, one day hope that you'll be able to do an awesome card to wallet routine or a sealed envelope routine. You can really just do miracles when you can palm a card. And it's one of those moves that's a huge, huge stumbling block. You got to kick around in Magic for way too much time
Sure.
before you get to do any of the stuff you really want to do. And so, just today, three different new strategies that you share these with people, and all of a sudden, it's coming together, and it's coming together fast. And when I look at it now, I go, oh my goodness, I wish there was no way for anyone to tell me the stuff.
Sure.
Because they show you the best they can. And of course, now they're showing me. And so really what I'm going to be presenting at Magi Fest is what they have taught me. That's exactly what we're going to be sharing.
Great.
Because anyone who's seen me lecture or give a magic talk or watch one of my DVDs or any of those things, well, they kind of knew what I knew before this started, right? Because I tell you. But this is really a presentation of everything that we've learned from everyone since then. And it's been really very exciting. I think everyone's going to get a lot out of it. And I'm particularly excited to share it with everyone at Magi Fest because that's really now a particularly groovy subset of magic, are the people who show up and do the old thing. They get together with a big gang of magicians and, dare I say, I would like to say learn, I would like to say convene, but we party for days together and we session and we do magic. And I think it's going to be really exciting to share with the crew what I have learned.
Especially Magi Fest, and I mentioned this before in other Skype sessions that I've had with people. Magi Fest is weird because it's a big convention but a small convention at the same time, and because it's a smaller hotel and stuff, that like last year we had Paul Daniels as like a special guest, and Paul was walking up and down the hallways. He'd pull up chairs at dinner tables with random strangers and just jam and talk and tell stories. And then you would go into the lobby and there's all these legends. Like the year before we had Tamarez, and Tamarez was just there all night until like 4 a.m. just jamming. And like in these big conventions you don't really get that because it's in a massive convention hall and things like that, and it's really intimate. It's really nice.
It's really intimate for something that has I hate to use the term magic star power of a big convention. So you would normally imagine or hope to see at a national the same quantity of magicians that excite you and thrill you, that you make these long journeys just so that you can see them, you know what I mean? And then to see them all in what ends up feeling like a really small get-together, it's got a culture. You know what I mean? It's almost like how people used to talk about habits or something.
Sure.
So you can see all of the magicians that you've never seen before. It's really even more important now than it used to be because of the way we all do our magic on the internet now. To really be in the room is even more important and life-changing for people when they're getting into magic or they've been in it for a long time. It's you get to see the guys do it. And it's like you said, I've seen more awesome magic in that lobby per square foot than at any magic convention I can think of.
Now, are you excited about, because as a magician who I've attended a ton of magic conventions and done lecture tours and things like that, sometimes it's not the most easiest to get excited about seeing another magic show or whatever, but like this year we have a lot of great magicians. So is there anybody in particular that you're really excited about seeing? We have Adam Rubin, Shin Lim, Simon Cornell, Helder, Jeffrey Pride, Ozzy, all these guys.
I have to say I got to hang with Ozzy. We were next door cabin mates at the
at camp.
At Magic Camp at Sorcerer Safari, and so it was really just our first good time to hang, and I really got a taste of what Ozzy can do, and it's some beautiful, incredible magic. Really incredibly exciting stuff. I've never met Adam Rubin before, so I'm really excited to see him. I know that a lot of my favorite magicians and friends are big fans of his, so I'm really super excited about that. And I've actually never gotten to see Shin Lim either, so I'm also very excited about that.
And he's one of those guys who he can hang with the guys and he'll just jam for hours, and it's crazy because you see him on stage, and you see the stuff that he does, and you're like, oh, that can only work on stage with a video camera. But then he'll do the same stuff in a hotel lobby. It just blow your mind. So it's really fun.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't get to go to enough magic conventions these days. So you're saying what we might perceive to be the jaded factor. It's gone. I'm excited to go, and I'm excited to get down and hang out all night and do it. And at this point in my life, I don't get to do it enough. So I was really very, very thrilled when Josh and Andy put it out there and invited me and asked me to come share this stuff. And so I'm bringing it.
Good. And I think I have one more question for you, because I want to know, because I don't even think I know too much about it. Can you tell us about your TED Talk?
Well, like I say, it's really going to be focused on strategies and tactics that I wouldn't have guessed, that were surprising to me, that really made clear how we can declutter the process of getting the magic that we really dream about doing the most. Everyone wants to know what is going to make it happen. Sometimes we think it's buying a new trick or a new gizmo or, the memorized deck or some tool or something that's going to make it all happen. And, no memorized deck, no tool is going to make you the next David Williamson. In fact, nothing is going to make you the next David Williamson. David Williamson is the next David Williamson and the last one and the only one, and that's all there is to it. But there is a unique path which is very specific and can be followed, right, by anyone to being the next you. And the next you, in almost all situations, has the potential to be a much more powerful, amazing magician than sometimes we even let ourselves dream of being, right? So when I say the next you, I mean in that same position you imagine, that same magical space that when you think of the magicians that excite you the most, that inspire you the most, that make you feel transported like Tamaris, feel magic when you're with them. Well, that's what you want to do. And the only way for you to do it is a very unique way that is perfectly suited to your strengths, right? That takes into account every element of magic and knows exactly how you interface with it to find that unique path where the audience brings out, like, I hate to say the Gandalf, but the actual wizard that, we all want to be and actually have the potential to be. So I'm going to be sharing some really, really specific stuff, and specifically some stuff from our Miracle Man Method training program that was a really kind of an amazing success this year. We're even having a conference on that. People are coming to just a few months after Magi Fest. So I'm going to be sharing, sort of lifting back the curtain on some of the secrets from that. And I'm really very, very excited because outside of our training program, no one's had a chance to hear this stuff yet at all.
Great. Well, man, we are so excited for having you at Magi Fest this year. So I really appreciate you taking time out to chat with me. I'm sure hopefully this helped some people if they had questions about what you're going to talk about. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kyle.
All right, talk to you soon.